Hi and welcome. Today we're working on rolling out our lower halves, creating all of this hydration for our tissues, leaving your bodies feeling amazing. If you happen to have two tennis balls, lacrosse balls would work, foam roller, if you had a golf ball, go collect whatever you've got and let's do this. All right, let's get started on our backs. If you happen to have those two tennis balls, you could also use a foam roller in this spot. We're gonna take it and place the balls just at that low back, below belt line area, either side of your spine. But before we lay on anything, let's just come all the way down. Get nice and heavy, lengthen out through those legs and just check in. How does the back feel? How do the hips feel? Try to wiggle and spread your toes. Because we're gonna come back and check to this at the end. All right, take that foam roller. If you've got the balls, place them in that area. You're just gonna sink into it, get a little heavier. Breathe, we're sending the breath out to the sides of our rib cage. Exhale, letting it go. And just gently start to sway your hips to the left and then to the right. And with the foam roller, maybe you bring the knees in towards your chest, and the same thing, kind of bring your legs over to the left and over to the right. You can do that with the balls. It's just a little bit more intense, kind of whatever your body's needing for today. We're just gently rocking, noticing those little tender spots along your spine. Maybe you move up a little or down a little bit, and just kind of listening to our bodies is key throughout this. And we're not getting in there and smashing and breaking up scar tissue or anything like that. This is such a great way to affect our nervous system to help calm that down, any tightness or tension you're feeling. And it's also an amazing way to hydrate those tissues. Less is more here, because if we overdo it, you can actually make the muscles feel stiffer. All right. I'll take one more gentle breath with this one. So about 30 to 60 seconds, each spot works great. Okay, then gently come on off that. Just kind of lengthen out, pause for a moment, check in. Nice breath in, exhale, let it go. Next, we're going to work on our piriformis muscle. So if you've got those two balls, you can do the same thing with the foam roller. You want to make sure you get those balls at an angle. So we're taking the balls here at an angle, and they're going towards your sacrum, rolling. And we're going to go super, super slow. Let's start on our right-hand side. Either that foam roller or the two balls together. Lift the hips up. Whew. You might go up or down a little till you're like, oh yes, that's that spot. Sink, get heavy. And then we're gonna slowly start to lift that right hip towards the ceiling a little more. Those balls are going closer in towards your sacrum, that triangle bone at the bottom of your spine. Soften. Try not to grip or hold anything really tight. Nice gentle breath in. Let it go. See if you can wiggle those toes on the right side. And then we're gonna keep sliding. So lift the hips up a little bit more. Slowly working your way along those rotator muscles of our hip. We can create a lot of tension in there. So just soften, use your breath. Nice, one more time. Scoot that hip up a little bit higher. So it's almost like we're starting to get towards our back. And then we're gonna do the same thing going the opposite direction. So start to roll onto that hip. Ooh. Stop, find a spot. Maybe you find some of the same spots, maybe they're slightly different, but we're still trying to soften and not grip and hold anything really tight. Good, keep rolling. Ooh. Find another spot. It's that like hurt but feels good. You definitely don't want anything that's painful. Please stop if you feel that, but it's that, all right, doing something here. Good. One more time. Roll more towards the side. Exhale, sink, get down into that. Awesome. Now we're going to do the same exact thing on our left hand side. So setting those balls or your foam roller up at a slight angle, coming onto that side. Wiggle up, wiggle down, find that exact spot and sink and get heavy. So when we're rolling, think of rolling with a purpose, and we're not just like rolling out those muscles trying to get rid of any of that scar tissue. That's not what we're doing here. Scoot underneath onto your back. And you may notice one side is slightly more tender than the other, but keep using your breath to help ease into this. These exercises we're doing are great to help with any back tension, hip pain, pelvic pain. There's so many different muscles that connect and attach onto our pelvis and our hips and our back. Okay, let's scoot the hip up towards the ceiling a little more. Those balls are getting closer towards your sacrum. Nice, gentle roll, hold for a breath. Exhale, let it go. Nice. And then let's start head back the other direction. Starting to roll to the outside of that left hip. Roll a little bit more. Sink. Use that breath. Nice breath in. Exhale, let it go. Good. One more time to the outside of that hip. Breathe in. Exhale, let it go. Good. Now we'll take those balls out. Next, we're working towards our adductors. So if you happen to have your foam roller, you can use the foam roller. If you've got the yoga block and one of the balls, that will also work. So we're working on those inner thighs. You're going to line the foam roller up perpendicular, or if you've got the block, line the block up so it's parallel. We're going to start down by our knee, and you're going to find a spot. You can lay all the way down. I'm just lifting up my mic. So find a spot there, and then once you find it, that might be enough, or maybe you want to bend and straighten that leg out. If you're noticing anything going on at your knee, especially the inside of your knee, maybe up around your hip, this is a great one for the pelvic floor. And again, less is more. You find two to three spots, 30 to 60 seconds in each spot. Okay, now we're going to roll a little bit more, so that take the ball down closer towards your thigh. You'll work around until you're like, ooh, I found another spot. And the same thing, we'll just bend and straighten out that leg. I'm trying not to grip or hold anything tight. Nice work. One more time. Awesome. If you want to find a couple more spots, feel free to hit that pause button and keep working on your adductor. We're going to move over towards our other side. So the foam roller lines up so that it's perpendicular, so you can roll and find. And if you've got the block and the ball, we line it up so it's parallel. Let's start closer down by our knee. Find one of those spots, and then we're just going to bend and straighten. A little bend and straighten. How does this side feel compared to your other side? Good. One more spot here. And then we're going to roll up a little bit closer towards that inner thigh. Find one more spot. Ooh, got one along there. And then the same thing, just a little bend and straighten. Or maybe you're just holding it. But we're breathing out to the sides of that rib cage. Nice job. One more time here. Good. Then just flip onto your back. Come to that position that we first started, And just check in with everything. Kind of notice how the back, the hips, wiggle those feet, and check in how everything's feeling. And then we're gonna make our way, come on up to standing, so kind of gently roll to that side, press yourself, come up. If you've got the tennis ball, you can use that. If you had something that was a golf ball size or smaller, we could also use that. We're gonna work on the bottom of our feet. Our feet are connected to everything, our pelvic floor, our hips, they carry us around all day. So before we get rolling, just spread those toes, check in, see how your feet feel. And then we're gonna start on the right-hand side. What we're gonna do is start just below the mound of our big toe, and we're gonna work inward across. So place that ball just below there, and then you're gonna lean in, put some pressure, and then come off. And you might have to roll up or down just to find that spot. Lean into pressure that you can tolerate. Keep the toes soft. Good. And then we're gonna work in between the second and third toes, more to the middle of the front of your foot. Just lean in and out, softening over that area. Ooh, and we're looking for those tender spots. See if it's more tender along the inside or the outside. Good. Now we're gonna roll to the outside between that fourth and fifth toe. Just trying to relax into it. You can definitely hold on to something. This isn't to test out your balance or anything. Just to show our feet some love. Ooh, that outside, I'm surprised. It's a little tender today. One more time. Great. Now we're gonna work on rolling. So we're gonna move that ball back to the inside, just below our big toe. And you're gonna start below the big toe and roll down towards your heel. And then bring it back up. Roll the length down. And then bring it back up. You're looking for any little speed bumps along the way. If it feels a little extra tender in one area, you can kind of hold it there. Good. And then we'll work our way up, right in between that second and third toe. So the same thing, we're just working our way from the inside of the foot to the outside. If you notice it's a little more tender in one area, you can stay there a little longer. Nice. And then roll to the outside edge. And just seeing if you noticed any connections. Was your inner thigh tighter on one side compared to the other? The same thing that goes for that foot. Maybe the low back, you notice different tightnesses. And just trying to find those connections within your body, piecing it together. Because when we stop and listen, our bodies really do tell us a lot. Nice job. Okay. Now come off the ball and just stop for a minute. How does the right side feel compared to the left side? Notice if you feel anything different up along the back of your leg, that calf, up the back of the thigh. Maybe try to spread the toes and see what's different. Okay, now we're doing the same thing on the left side. So we're gonna start just below that mound of your big toe, and we're leaning in, put some good pressure, and then come off. Put some good pressure on, and then come off. Gently moving in and out. Good. Move in between the second and third toe, a little in and out. Nice job. And then we're gonna work our way outside edge of the foot. Same thing, just a little lean in and lean out. How does left side feel compared to your right side? Great, we'll do one more and then we're going back to the rolling. Good. Now starting just below the mound of that big toe, we're gonna roll the whole way down that inside to your heel and then back up. Roll down and then back up. Looking for those lovely little speed bumps along the way. So, fun little fact, the connection between our feet and our pelvic floor, the nerve that innervates the muscles in the bottom of your feet is the same nerve that does the muscles for your pelvic floor. So if our feet feel tight, it could be the same thing with our pelvic floor. Good, now let's move between the second and third toes, loosening up those feet. Good, and then let's move to the outside edge. Just checking in, left side, right side. And if you found anything throughout today, that one area that needed a little extra love, you can maybe just do that one particular exercise or go through the whole routine, because it really is a great recovery for the whole body. Or maybe it's a great routine you do before you go to do your workout, or just something to help keep those aches and pains away. Good. All right, let's come off that ball. Standing down with both the feet now. Spread those toes. Check and see how everything feels. Check in with the hips. Check in with your low back. Nice, gentle breath in. So remembering the key things today, that 30 to 60 seconds is plenty. If you're trying to do more, it's not necessarily going to benefit and can actually add to making things feel a little bit tighter. So keep coming back to this routine. It's great to do a couple times throughout your week. If you find one that's particularly helpful, maybe you just implement that into your daily routine. Let's take one last nice big cleansing breath in. Lift those arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, bring those hands down towards heart center. Thanking your bodies for your practice today. Let me know down below in the comments if you enjoyed this class and want to see classes like this in the future. And if you're new around here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Keep up the good work. Until next time, namaste.